Hello, hello, hello. This is the start of a Nuzlocke series of Pokemon R.O.W.E. You can hear the music right now, it's quite ominous. I've set it to the Sinnoh theme, and we've picked Groudon here as the flagship. Flagship Mon? Is that the right phrase? Anyway, I am Hypercloth, but I tend to just go with Al, which is my first name. And yeah, I'm a little nervous, admittedly. I've tried this a couple of times to get this to work, and I think I've figured out the audio settings. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this will run smoothly. I'm just going to hit start. Ooh, that's the sound of Groudon right there. As you can see, I played for about an hour or so, did a bit of recording, and figured out that it was working alright, but I just wanted to have a bit of a fresh start. Before I dive on in, R.O.W.E, let me explain Pokemon R.O.W.E. This is a beautiful fan project. It is a ROM hack of Emerald, where it makes it an open world experience. So rather than just being like you start in Little Route, you do your 8 gyms, and then take on the Elite Four, this game is a little bit more complicated in that you can start effectively anywhere. They've added the Sevi Isles. There's 16 gyms in total, and then you take on the Elite Four. You can alternate with the use of a certain NPC between single and double battles. And I just have played this a fair number of times, albeit I've not ever finished a Nuzlocke run of it. Thought to myself, this would be a really good game to do a Nuzlocke of. People out there have done this, but I just wanted to kind of finally do something. I've been on YouTube for like the last... Well, I haven't been on YouTube, but I've watched videos on YouTube for ever since I was like 13, you know, youngin', if you will. I'm about 29 now, so I say I'm about 29 now. I am 29 now. And I just thought at this point, you know what, I should probably actually just try and do something, try and make a Let's Play, see what would happen, because I've always wanted to do this, and so I'm actually really excited, albeit nervous as well. I'm just going to go ahead and show you the options, because there's quite a lot to look at here. So I've set a number of these things just as a standard, so we're going to go for fast, tech speed, set, battle style, just to make this a little bit more challenging. I've set the music to Sinnoh. I love Sinnoh. We're keeping the frame the same. You can choose in the menu to change between the Mac Bike and the Acro Bike. It's not going to matter too much, I think, until a little bit later on, but for the time being, it's perfectly fine. This game has quite a few interesting little rule sets. We're going to stick to the strict cap for levels. This game does have a function to allow you to have some interesting level choice. We're going to set the color... Sorry, what I mean by that is this game has an option where as you level up, you don't gain stats, but you gain either access to moves or evolutions. I personally prefer strict caps because it keeps things balanced, I would say. Rather than just, over-leveling and evolving earlier than necessary. I'm setting the colours to 0 because the game automatically assigns you colour, but you can easily change the colour of your hat that you wear. So this might be cool to try and do with a particular Pokemon that we get very attached to, develop a parasocial relationship with, lose in a very tragic way, cry, the usual in a Nuzlocke experience. There's nothing else I think I need to like disable necessarily here. It's all fairly cool stuff. The only thing here to sort of stress is that the cry types we're going to stick with disabled, and the reason why is that this game, I don't know if it's updated with the Gen 9 Mon or not, but effectively the generic ones, it kind of uses a few stock ones repeatedly, so you don't get a full variance of cries, which makes it feel at times a bit repetitive, which isn't at all to disrespect to the developers. There's so much packed into this game. There are ways of being able to get, I think, the cries of all of them in, but I'm not too sure if this works or not, and I'm also unsure whether I can set this up or not with the tech know-how that I have being quite limited. So I'm going to stick with disabled for the time being. But if you are watching this and you're like, this should be something that they look into doing, then let us know. We'll hit save, and we're going to go ahead and just press new game and dive on in. The music rolls along. I'm just going to quickly turn the volume down a smidgen for myself. I hope it doesn't affect the volume of what we're recording. That'll be fine. Immediately tempted to start voice acting. Lol. Hi, sorry to keep you waiting. Welcome to Pokemon R.O.W.E. This is an open world version of Emerald. And you are? Oh dear. Okay, so it gives you the classic option of between a boy or a girl. I'm going to stick with boy for now, but we can always chop and change that later down, so it's fine. For each successive run, might try and sort of shake it up a little bit. We're going to go with just a standard name that I go with in most runs. Save as many syllables as I can. Just go for Al. So it's Al. Aha, okay, you're Al. I get it now. Alright, are you ready? Your very own adventure is about to begin. Choose your starting location and explore this world as you want. A different adventure awaits. Well, if you have any questions, I'll be expecting them on Poke Community. Here we are, teleported into a random guy's house. I think this is quite a fun way of starting because essentially it gives you your options right off the get-go by talking to this fella. I kind of want to put on voices for characters, but I don't really know who this character is supposed to be. I just like that they're here. Welcome to Pokemon R.O.W.E. Do you have any questions? So, there's a few things to look at, very briefly. We can go ahead and set the difficulty. I'm going to set it for normal. I find that that's the best way of doing a Nuzlocke. Not hard, not easy, just normal, as it is. If we somehow are really good at this for some surprised reasons, then... if I do unexpectedly better than intended, then I will consider changing the difficulty. But for the time being, we'll keep it as it is. This game has lots of game modes, and as they say... no, okay, right. So, panic, start setting things that I don't mean to. So this game has loads of different modes that you can set. I'm going to make this very vanilla, if you will, almost. I don't need to set any of these. There's some interesting ones like, adding an extra type to Pokemon, completely randomizing everything, setting things to random mode, no evolutions, shuffling gyms, scale 1 being able to set everything to the same kind of total base stat total, so it means that Mons should be more optimized or more what's the word? Even. I think that we don't need to set anything just now. It's all fine to me. So maybe in the future we can try and make it a bit more fun. But for the time being, we'll just stick to as it was intended when it was made. I think we're good just to jump right on in. And yes, as they say, you can't change any of those configurations, but you can change the difficulty later on. So we'll bear that in mind. Now, seasons. I'm going to say let's start with spring, as it is in real life. You're playing the spring. We'll set the clock. It doesn't really matter too much, so I'm just going to go ahead and set it for the same minute, but we'll change the hour to being in the morning and go from there. Doesn't matter too much. Right, the important one. Startamon. Oh, there's loads of interesting ones here. Stuffle, Furfuroo, Fido, Frillish. I love the options, but as I've stressed in previous attempts of trying to do this, I find that when you have so many options like this... Oh, but here, there's Frillish, though. It's Frillish. I don't get the opportunity to normally pick Frillish. I say that. It's random across the board, including that of, starter Pokemon, actually. So there's Poplio, for instance, which would be otherwise quite a rare pick. The game, I think, here encourages you to pick something, and I normally go for Surprise Me, but today... Snorunt. Oh, interesting. Swirlex, Ponyta. Okay, I'm going to pick Frillish. I love Frillish. Frillish is one of my favourite Pokemon. So, let's do Frillish. It gives us the choice. I think we can pick it. But I also quite like going random as well. So this time round, yeah, I said it one more time for the people at the back. Just in case you didn't catch it, we're going to go for Frillish. I have quite a silly sense of humour. Ooh, how pink. My favourite. Let's pick them. I feel very accomplished. Take the items as well. So we have a bike, whale pail, old rod, experience share, surfboard, diving kit, and a Seviile ticket, and the essentials to start a Pokemon adventure. What location would we like to start? Ooh, lots of options. I'm going to go ahead and put in a quick cut, and I will go ahead and select. So I put in a cut just there. You might notice there was a little lag there. I am getting used to how to edit things, so this is actually a bit of a test for me to see if I can actually pull this together. But yes, we have Frillish. I love Frillish. Ghost Water, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So what does this mean then? We have loads of options here. The game presents you with so many places that you can go to. It's quite exciting to think, oh, I could just go to any of the Seviiles and then that'll be us. we have a Sevi Isle ticket granted to us, and I'm not too sure if that overlaps with the one that we might pick. Ghost Water gives us a couple of interesting options. So we could hit Surprise Me and just go any random place, and we might do that. We could potentially go for 2 islands, and I have a fun concept that I'm working on mentally here that might be an interesting way of being like, let's challenge Whitney first. Because with a ghost type in the party, that might make it a little easier, but then loads of normal types can bite, so I'm a bit like, is that sensible? It's the same with going to like battle Norman at like Petalburg, for instance, as a first encounter, which could be fun. This is like the beauty of this game, is there's so many ways about it as a Nuzlocke where it kind of makes it exciting. I think I'm going to go for 2 island, because I think 2 islands is going to make it really interesting for how we progress, and also it's an interesting challenge that I'll explain in a moment. So we'll hop onto 2 island, and here we are. 2 island. 2 island is quite fun. There's an old woman who lives in the cottage out in the Cape. She gives the eye to Pokemon. It's a bit unnerving. Ooh, interesting. Already we're starting the game off with intrigue. So R.O.W.E has the Sevi Isles. Danger, fast current, fishing and surfing prohibited is quite a clever way of being like, yeah, we haven't, we can't add like Pokemon to this particular area, but it makes it interesting, you know. You don't always have to catch things. So the islands you can access, and this allows you to go back to, I think, not Moss Deep. Is it Moss Deep? It takes you to, I'll go ahead and open this up. Beautiful menu, by the way. Ooh, hello, hello. Impish. Water Ghost with Water Absorb. Interesting. So we're resistant to water, lower special attack. Oh no, and up physical defense. That's saddening, because I think we are like defensive and special attacking. Oh, well, we have good special defense. Gee, that's pretty powerful. Right. I'm going to stick with this, and maybe just based on the fact that speed might be hard to combine, I'm going to just go ahead and punch into the defense here. I don't know if this is a sensible way of doing it, but it might be fun. I don't actually remember how Frillish works, but there we go. We have Poison Sting, Water Sport, which we'll have to get rid of immediately, Absorb and Nightshade, and level 40. Oh gosh, okay, so we're going to have this little Frillish for quite a long time in this, right? His hidden power type is Ghost. That's hilarious. Nice, okay, I like this little impish fella that we got on our party right here. I'll have to give them a nickname. But yeah, it's interesting that the map, this kind of like over sprite here, is slightly different, but that's fine. This game's beautiful. I love it so much. The menu is gorgeous, and I'm going to land a quick save in actually here, just so that we can show off not only the version that we're on, but also just to make sure that nothing bad happens. Okay, so let me explain. I tend to jump from conversation to conversation point. I am quite a hyperactive person, so hence the name. Anyway, so we're on Sevi Isle 2. There's loads of Sevi Isles you can access, so I'll go ahead and load up the tickets. So you get a ticket. So we have a ticket for Island 2, which we've got right here. So we're on Island 2. Yay! And Island 2, you can access going back here, okay, to Lily Cove, which is what I was trying to remember. Lily Cove is something that we can return to at any point in time, and that gives us back to Hoenn. But we're also here on the island, and we can do all kinds of fun things. So you can hop between islands, talking to the right NPC who we can find, I believe, along this route this way. But what we'll do, I like how the overworld sprite is different to. Okay, we have quite a fun little guy here. I like this a lot. Interesting. Okay, sorry, I'm just getting very distracted by the sprites. So we have loads of ways about this. What I'm going to suggest that we do is I'm going to first give our Pokemon a nickname, because it's custom in a Nuzlocke that we would do that. Ooh, there we go. So let's go ahead and change the nickname. I'm going to go with like a food theme here. What's the word I'm thinking of again? I'm going to go ahead and quickly use the power of social media and search engines to figure out what's the Japanese octopus ball dish again? Bear with. Takoyaki, that's what the name is for this wonderful person. So if we go takoyaki. Yes, it's like an octopus meal. I'm going to go for food as a sort of naming convention for the Pokemon, just because it's really easy for me just to jump into. So there we go, we have takoyaki. It fits nicely, doesn't it now? the nurses are very hungry. They're out for blood. So what I'll do is I'll talk in the background and set up the boxes, just because it's kind of fun to do on stream. So we will go ahead and call this the team. Standard. Because this is where people will go to, and we'll go ahead and rename this to the Fate. I was going to say the grave, but there's something kind of morbid about that I don't know if that's necessarily how I would like to put it. I like the idea that Pokemon are knocked out, but Fate, we'll keep that. I love it so much. It's disgusting to read out loud. So we'll go ahead and put that as like the river, and basically we'll put enemy into that. I know this isn't how we're supposed to spell it, but I don't care. It's meant to be faint, but yeah, it's fine. And then this is the team. We'll set the wallpaper to snow, because I like the snow. Okay, so we will go ahead also and quickly hop in to grab the free potion. It's often good to grab, just because we always need potions. And let me go ahead and explain. So, we're on island number 2, and this means, effectively, we have a few ways of going about this. This is a bug-type gym, remember. We don't have anything advantageous against bugs, but it's helpful to know. I believe if we talk to this person, he has some interesting lore about the island. Listen, did you know a famous trainer came to the island a little while back? He's one of the Elite Four. His name's Bruno. He went away disappointed when he found out that they were all sold out of Rage candy bars. See, it's just fun that they added that in. And we have a red shard, which we can trade for things later down the line. I think there are some Pokemon that we can get for trading in shards. We have a person here who can teleport us to places for battle points. Battle points is the currency that you get from fighting in battles, and so you can stack that up and get some quite interesting things for them. And we have this person here. Oh, hello, welcome to my shop. We've opened up recently. Our merchandise is limited, but I can serve your needs. So we have lava cookies, fresh water, and metal powder. Excellent. I love these. I mean, we won't really have any use for the metal powder, but lava cookies right off the get-go, brilliant. We're going to go ahead and take 5 of them right off the get-go. And fresh water, we'll go ahead and have 5 as well. Why not? We'll stack up. We should have enough Pokeballs, so we're not really at any disadvantage here. And what's this? This is the Game Corner. Skip and Chomp. Joyful Game Corner. Excellent. So here we go. What I wanted to point out is we don't have access to the coin case yet, and I think we get that a little bit later on. But what we can do here is for battle points get Pokemon. Now if you notice here, Abra is 3 points. You also can get Cleffa, Mime Jr., Dratini, Eevee, and Porygon. Now, Porygon is a Pokemon you can get later down the line for a gift, so we don't need to collect them yet. Eevee, I think we can get them later. There's 2 game corners in the world. There's one in Morville and there's one here. Eevee is a Pokemon in the Nuzlocke, so it's really good to get later down the line. I'll explain a Nuzlocke as well in just a moment. I'd assume that most people who have gotten this far will know what a Nuzlocke is, but I'll probably explain what that looks like in just a moment. Dratini is great. I think Dratini is quite powerful, but levels up quite late, so it's kind of one of those investments you might want to make later on in the game. Mime Jr. has some interesting potential. I think Mr. Mime at level 30 is when you get them. Mr. Mime is a very fun Pokemon to use. I like Mr. Mime, but what I'm going to say is that I'm going to try and see if we can save up to get Abra, because Abra allows us to teleport. And teleportation is really important for what we're going to try and pull off here with the island hopping technique. What we'll do is I'll also explain. So yeah, I'm jumping ahead of myself. This is like an episode 0, call it like a setup episode for the rest of the game. We are playing a Nuzlocke. Nuzlockes are quite tough in that we can only catch the first Pokemon that we encounter in a route. Otherwise, if we miss that Pokemon encounter, that's it, we don't get them again. We also have kind of if you will, Pokemon that you can encounter that are static Pokemon. That also counts as well. So what I mean by that is we don't just get those as a gift, but effectively if we walked through a route and we saw a Kecleon, for example, if that was the first Pokemon that we encountered, we could catch them. If it isn't the first Pokemon that we can encounter, we don't get the Kecleon item. It's as simple as that. The only exception to this rule are legendary Pokemon, or event Pokemon, or gift Pokemon that we get given. We can never refuse a gift. Now, in terms of Pokemon fainting, if a Pokemon faints, that's it. We can't use them. Simple as that. We can't use items in battle, like healing items, but we can use like held items and stuff. I think that's as much as I need to go over just now. I keep saying because I'm trying to remember if there's anything else I need to kind of be bearing in mind for Nuzlocke. I'm not an expert, I should preface as well. This is more or less if you want to watch somebody like amble their way through a game. We won't really use speed up so much, in case my old laptop decides to break. And we're going to try and save regularly because sometimes, unfortunately, this game does crash. This is mostly because, as is with fan projects, there's so many things that they've done to try and make this work. So I guess every now and then, if we do experience a crash, we'll just load from the nearest save. If it proves to create any controversies, like, oh, we end up like reversing through a hard fight, we'll just have to accept the losses. It happens, Celebi. Yeah. I'm hoping we don't have that happen, but other than that, we should be good to go. British looks skeptical. What could it mean? Hopefully this isn't foreboding any distrust. Foreboding distrust, that's not the phrase. You can tell I'm not very good at words, but we're having a fun time and that's the important thing. So, we have options. We have Cape Brink here, and we also have... Oh, what's this? Cape Brink here. So that's 2 Cape Brinks. What we can see is that there are 2 different encounter pools of Cape Brink that we have here. We have this Cape Brink, which has a different set of Pokemon, like there's Krogunk, there's Lotad, there's Skuntank, or Skunky, and then there's a different set of encounters out this way here, okay? Now, Nuzlocke is the first Pokemon that you encounter. That's the one that matters here. So this one here has some grass types, it has some dark type Pokemon, it has Toad Squirrel, I think. It has Galarian Slowpoke, I think there's Galarian Slowpoke up that way. There's loads of Pokemon that we can get here. So it's kind of overwhelming to me almost. Now ideally we don't want to encounter any grass types, and there are 2 fairly common, 3 possibilities for grass types. Grass types are quite strong against British, so I'm going to go ahead and suggest that we go this way because I believe there are fewer chances to get grass types in this encounter pool. We have, Duo, I think that's Faragarath, Paris, 1, 2, 3. There are 3 here, but there's less of a chance to kind of encounter them. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we get a good encounter. Oh, I'm kind of excited almost to think what we're gonna get. Oh. This is rather... okay, gosh. Who is it going to be? I'm really happy with this one. Doduo, excellent. Said nobody ever. No, I'm kidding. Doduo is quite a fun Pokemon. So what we need to know is that this game gives you your Pokemon catching odds. So right here we have a 24% chance. Could be higher. We have a few options. We could attempt to capture this Pokemon. We don't have that many effective moves, but we are significantly higher in levels. I'm going to try and see if I can hit it with a Poison Sting, just to increase our odds slightly, just so that we don't end up wasting a huge amount of time, because I guess the difficulty is that, like, we could spend a while trying to do this properly. So Peck? Is that Peck? That didn't do as much as I hoped it would. Did that increase the odds much? Oh, it did. Okay, so now we have effectively like going from a quarter of chance to a third chance. Now, it scared me there by doing effectively like a multi-attack hit thing there, which in 2 hits, like, effectively I want to say like maybe just under a 5th. So I just need to throw a ball at this point in time in the hope of catching it. This is probably less optimal. Yep, okay, here we go. Now that's actually quite nice. What I'm going to try and do maybe... Ooh. We'll try a Poison Sting. Oh, hell yeah, okay, great. We're going to try that one more time. Beautiful, beautiful. It seems to be locked in. Okay, so now it's a half health. Maybe I might have a better chance here. 49. Okay, so that's like a coin flip, basically, at this point in time. Drat. It seems to be locked into trying to quick attack us here, which is maybe not working so well. I'm going to try maybe one more poison sting here. And maybe I hopefully won't try and accidentally crit our way out of this one. Okay. That probably increased the odds by like, what, 1%? 3% extra. A coin flip in our favour. Ah! Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so it hits twice. Oh, maybe because of its ability. Flying type. Oh, okay. Well, we can survive one more hit. I want to try and maximise as many chances to catch this, so I'm going to go ahead and throw a Pokeball. Ah, perfect. We didn't lose. We get a little bit of extra points here. Twin bird Pokemon. Even while eating or sleeping, one of the heads remains always vigilant for any sign of danger. When threatened, it flees at over 60 miles an hour. That's fast. I'm going to call this Karage. Is it Karage I'm thinking of? Yeah, Karage. Just to continue the theme of Japanese cuisine. So, Karage. I think this is how you spell it. Don't think it's a double R. If not, I will amend that. And so now we have Dodoa, which is quite a good addition. Karage here is a bold Dodoa. Bold, I think, is a attack down, defense up. That's kind of tragic because I think physical attack and speed is its whole thing. I'm gonna go ahead and just try and see if I can salvage this by punching a little bit of the EVs into attack to start with. It has early bird, so it awakens quickly from sleep, which would be interesting for rest. Interesting. So how did it do that like twice? That's not like a... Is it changed the move? Okay, well maybe they've changed it so that it like as a multi-attack. That's interesting. We get them to level 31, they will evolve into Dodrio. Their hidden power is dark. Get Rage level 13. Interesting. So, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and quickly put Dodoa into the front just to see how Karage looks on the old world. Oh, excellent. I love it so much. This is an incredibly silly Pokemon. I love Dodoa. I think Dodoa is a very unique Pokemon from a design standpoint. It has two heads. Like, I don't know, you don't really get that many two-headed Pokemon. Well, you do, but like, you know what I mean. It's Kanto Pokemon at their finest. Also looking quite skeptically at us, it would seem. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in a cut just here. I've explained the concept. We're now effectively on for a early Whitney strategy to try and see if we can basically get to Whitney and using a ghost and hopefully get some fighting type mon. So ghost Pokemon and fighting type Pokemon to try and battle Whitney early. So then that basically means then that we kind of change the order in which you would ordinarily fight Mon, because the alternative would be us going to fight Norman, which we can also do as well. I mean, we could do like Whitney and Norman and just get them both out of the way early, but I'm really excited to see how this goes. I'm already very happy with the cast of characters that we have to play with, and we will go ahead and put in a cut just now. I'll go ahead and quickly save before anything bad happens, and I look forward to continuing this little soiree. I'm really excited. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will catch up soon.